Okay. Hello, hello, hello. Check, check, check. Schedule for what? That's not good. Cancel. Hello? Can you hear me? All right, I think I'm back on. Can you let me know if you can hear me? Thank you. All right, guys, we'll get going in about 7 minutes at 9:30. If you have any questions, just type them in the box. I'll try to answer them as I go. I'll probably be on for about an hour, give or take. We'll see how this goes. Thank you. Thank you. All right, guys. So while we wait for people to show up, this is the trade exchange I'm going to show to you. It's the new service that I use. This is what I start with every morning. It kind of gives you an update of what's going on. Most of you are probably very familiar with it. My favorite part of this whole newsletter is the Trade Exchange Morning Mashup. Just click on it, kind of gives you an overview. We can see we have Fed speakers today, basically near the end of the day. And kind of just go through and see what the heck is going on. This is great if you're trading stocks. Of course, I only trade futures for the most part. So I only kind of utilize this for the news part of it, just to kind of gauge what's moving the market and what's not moving the market. And really don't see anything on here that I'm too concerned about right now. Right now, I do expect the market to trade in a range. We have CPI coming up, I believe, on Thursday. Let's see what else we have going on here. TLR Brands acquires Mintic Brewing Company. Okay, I guess they're going from pot to beer. Sounds like a smart move. All right, I'm just going to put this on the side. I trade off 4 monitors right now. What you're seeing is the one-up trading software, which is this right here. I kind of use this one-up indicator to kind of gauge whether I'm long or whether I'm short. These are my lines right here. You guys should be familiar with how I form these on the cloud. Right now, we have a 5-minute chart up. And this is the pre-market range. We've been trading somewhere from 376.30, bouncing off 378.88. This 379.59 is the 50-day moving average. Right now, I'm really expecting I'm expecting an up day with midterms. We may be in a tight trading range. That 37.84, 37.88 number. Is maybe where I'm looking to buy and trade up to this 50-day. I expect it to challenge at some point today. That's what I'm looking for. If for some reason we start selling off down here to this 370.11 number, which is kind of the low from Friday. Here it's actually the low, but this area right here, I would look to go short, especially if it goes on volume. I'd want to see it really to this yellow line, and I would start shorting the heck out of it right here. But right now, my bias is long. I'm really looking to trade from the yellow lines or the blue lines. These bigger yellow lines are stronger compared to these little ones. I also put up some demand zones. You can see right now we're kind of what used to be a supply zone. These are my take on supply zones and demand zones. Why futures over stocks? Because I can trade futures 23 hours a day. So I can react to market news in the middle of the night. That's why. Do you expand your vertical axis to get an accurate price line for your daily, weekly clown lines? I'm not sure what you mean there. Expand your vertical axis. I mean, in TC, I use TC 2000 because I love the charting on it. Unfortunately, it does not do ES, so I have to, I have to chart SPY and then convert it in my head, do the math. For every point SPY moves is roughly 10 points on futures. So I'll go to a 1 minute chart because it's a little cleaner. I'm taking off the cloud. I'm just going to use my lines today. Oh, sorry. There you go. Take that off. And I'll turn off the pre-market in a while. It'll make the chart a little cleaner. But right now you can kind of see where the action is, which is basically, between this yellow line and this blue line right up here. In fact, if we do open up above this 378.12 number, which is about 37.96 on ES, I may look to take that long to this 378.62 number, which is about 5 or 6 points, probably 37.03. Although if we do trade above this 37, let's call it 38.03. If we do trade above 38.03 to 38.06, I'd like to see some volume, and I would take that long. I think if we can get above this 50-day, we can really go. We can go up to probably, somewhere up into this green range. Or I would say this 383.45, which is about 38.50, 38.45 on futures. But again, we'll just wait on price action and see what news pops up, and that's all we can do. We can only trade what's given in front of us. All right, guys, thanks for joining. Really appreciate it. By the way, I made 1,000 people on YouTube, so I'm excited about that. There's our opening bell, and let's see what will happen. So we'll kind of zoom in. I'm going to go to a 5 minute chart. I think the 1 minute is not my favorite. And it'll probably be pretty slow, so, I don't like to trade immediately off the get-go. I probably should have started this live stream around 10:30, but never know what happens in the beginning. If we get some action, we'll see how it goes. Oh, wait, I got to turn off the, hold on, sorry. I have a lot of stuff on here that I got to turn off, which I may not know how to do. Let me see here. I'm going to close all my windows, so let me see here. All right, well, it's not going off, so I don't know what noise stuff I have on, so hopefully it won't be too bad. So I'll have to work on that. All right, right now we're getting above this blue line, 378.12. We're hitting that resistance level of about 3,800. So what I'm looking for right here is that, see if we can test this yellow line right up here. I'm going to go ahead and turn off my pre-market for right now. Just kind of gives you a clearer picture of what's going on. Or if we trade down here to this level, this 376.38, I may look to go long there as long as it holds. I'll have to look for volume and see what's happening right down here on the volume place. And really all I do is trade line to line. So hopefully we'll get a trade. We may be just sitting here twiddling our thumbs, having a good old time. It's very weird talking to a whole bunch of people. I guess not too many people right now, but to people. And I didn't advertise this, so people will either find it or they won't, but see what happens. So what are you guys trading this morning? You guys mostly futures traders, stock traders, new to this game, learning? By the way, I'll show you guys a weekly chart while we're doing this. Take that off. Let's go to a weekly chart right here. Turn all that off. So basically, this is the cloud, a weekly cloud, and this is the kind of a 10-year chart, and you can kind of see that when we penetrated the weekly cloud once here back in when was this, 2012 we'll call it, then again over here back in 2015, again in 2016, then right here in 2000, beginning of 2019, 2020, 21. And now then again here, when we penetrated back here in last April, down around this level here, I said time to go short. We're going to penetrate through the cloud, which we did. Then we retested the top of the weekly. We sold off. We tested again. And now we've really sold off. And I expect actually to kind of test this level up here, this kind of 400 level, before we go lower. Overall, I'm still bearish. The Fed has no clue what they're doing. So I'm just waiting to see what happens, with them. All right, let me turn these things back on. I just want to try to get one trade in here to show you guys how I do it. And in the meantime, I can sing for you, but then I would have no viewers. So you guys are a test for me. There's maybe 13 of you in here. Normally, if I'd advertise this, I'd probably have 100 in here, which I'm not ready to do yet because I'm relatively new to this. So we'll see what happens. Let me know if you guys have any questions regarding anything, really. So here you can see I'm watching the news over here. I'll just kind of put it over here. Actually, what I'll do is I'll kind of go here. This is the one-up indicator. Right now it is bullish, but, we're still very early, so we just have to let this play out till we hit some lines. 10-year yield is dying. VIX is actually up a little bit, 3%. Which I'd like to see it actually down from a bullish standpoint. And we just wait. Sometimes you have to be patient. Sometimes there are no trades. Here's my favorite number again, 37.88. If you've been following me for a while, you'll notice that I talk about futures trading ending in 88 quite a bit. It seems to happen quite a bit, whether it's 35.88, 36.88, 39.88. We seem like we're hit that number weekly. Here you can kind of see a V. That's why we're trying to see if it'll break out. I don't love playing breakouts, but considering it's midterms and so forth, I do expect it to hit this level 376.38. That's what I'm most interested in, which is about 37.77, 37.78 on MES. I want to see what it does. So here we go. Will I get it? Will I don't? Sometimes you can kind of, if you feel pretty confident, you can kind of limp in. Maybe you buy one or two, maybe your contract size. I'll talk in terms of MES today because most of you, I believe, trade MES. You can kind of limp in here before this even hits because it may hit right here and bounce right off. So you may start with 2 contracts, and then if it goes up, you can buy more. Or if it goes down, you can, you can buy some more and kind of lower your basis. Someone asked me, your stop rules just seem to change over time. Mind sharing? Yep, they change because market changes. So it just depends on what I'm trading. If I'm trading 2 ES contracts, my stop loss is probably going to be a lot smaller because my risk level is more extended versus if I'm only trading 4 or 5 MES contracts, because I can take a 20 or 30 point downside, so I can give it more room. So it just all depends. Right now, if I'm looking at this, see how it bounced off the 376.38 level, which was I don't know what that was. I wasn't looking on MES, but I believe it was 37.78, and now it's at or 37.80 looks like. So just for giggles right here, I'll go ahead and take this trade. Um, oh, actually, it's not a good trade because there's a long red candle. Really want to see what the volume does right here. And this blue line is right here. That's probably the better trade, which is down about 2, so 37.78. And that's if my bias is long. If it all of a sudden starts selling off down here, which it can do. But it keeps bouncing off the yellow line. So I could say like buy one contract right here if I think it's going to jump back up, or then if it starts selling off, then I have some support down here where I can buy another contract and lower my basis. And one MES contract is only $5, so it's nothing. So I can really play it all the way down to here if I wanted to. Now, if I was trading two ES contracts and I'm only looking to play for 5 or 10 points, then and I was pretty confident that I would try to buy it here at my yellow line, and then my stop will most likely be this blue line here, this just right below this 376.17, like 376.10. You got to give it some room, but you do have an 8 EMA right here, so the likelihood of it all of a sudden trading down here can be pretty good. So anyway, we're bouncing around this level. Now we're breaking through, so good thing I didn't take the trade. So we're still in a downward trend, so we'll just have to wait till a trend is established. We need to see some price action, and right now we're not seeing any. It's a slow sell-off. And I also use sweeps, which I don't have up right now, which I actually need to go put up right here. Let's see here. All right, now the next candle is opening up above above. Oh wait, that's gonna drive me nuts because it's gonna make sound every time, and I have no idea how to turn it off. So, um, yeah, okay, that's not gonna work. I'm gonna turn that off. Okay, so I won't not be using sweeps. I'll have to save that for the next time. Alright, Rich, that's the beauty of MES can be hard scale and blah blah blah. 3782 is view app as well, yep. It is. But it's so early for view app. This early, it's irrelevant. Alright, I guess I should have taken the trade. It would have been a good trade. But now that we're bouncing a little bit, I'll go ahead and take just for that market. See if this holds right here, because that may be conform a little bit of a bear flag right here. We may trade back down to this level. But now, since I've seen this green candle and I've seen that this yellow line has acted support, what I want to see really is a trade back down to this 376.38, and I would definitely take it. Okay. Yeah, Richard, watching ES with a distinct lack of distrust and skepticism. I hear you. I mean, that's trading. You have to, especially with when you're trading futures, it's really about really good entries. It makes it a lot easier. That's why I like the clout lines quite a bit. But it's definitely time where I thought it was going to bounce and it doesn't. It just breaks right through. But that's part of the trading. So there's not a whole lot of news going on. So we're just kind of hovering. And if you see something that you like to trade or whatnot, I can, while we're waiting on the MES, if you see a stock, I'm happy to look at it real quick. See what my thoughts are on it. But it's just hoping that we get something. Otherwise, it's real boring. I think the next time I do this, I'm just going to announce it publicly, and I'm not going to trade until 10:30 until the action is there. All right, we're breaking above this kind of flag area. So, which is that 370.89. It's not a high reward trade right now. I mean, because I could chase it and be fine with it and maybe try to go for 2 points. It's just not worth it. You're just better off. Sometimes you get bored, or sometimes, while I'm in a group setting like this, I try to take a trade just for the sake of entertainment, or, you guys want to see action. It's a bad move. I mean, it's even if it's small, even if it's only 5 MES contracts, which is, only 25 points per move, so, or $25 per move. Um, I sometimes, it's a lot different when you're trading 5 MES contracts that have a 25-point move compared to when you're trading 5 ES contracts that have a $250 move. 10 points on that's $2,500 in a hurry, and if you have 30 points against you, that's $7,500 real quick. You can make a lot of money too. So you have to be very confident in your entries, which I don't post at my ES trades. Most days when I'm trading ES, not on Twitter and stuff, I'm really concentrated because it is a lot of money. But that is how I make my money, for the most part. Also have a history in commercial real estate, but I sold. Thanks for streaming, Professor. You're welcome. I hope it's entertaining. We'll see. All right. FFIE, volume over, no headline, plus 13, under $1 name. Stay away, stay away. All right. This is what, by the way, while we're waiting, you guys have seen the video. So the way I draw my cloud lines while we're waiting is this is a daily chart. You can do trend lines all day long. You can kind of go like this and then say, okay, here's another one, and there's another one, and there's another one, and they work, especially with algo. Harry talks about algo lines, and Dave. I've been training with those guys for a long time, but and they work. But the way I came across the cloud, I was a big cloud trader, but I noticed all these little, I don't know what you call them, divots, if you will, or lines. And I noticed that I just started drawing lines on them one day, and I noticed how accurate they were. But I always stick to, since we're trading right here, I always stick to the left side of the cloud. So since I'll pull up my actually, I'll pull up my yellow ones right here. Although I do have a blue one in there. That's because of that. So what I like to do is I like to just go over here, and then I zoom in over here, and then I just start putting my yellow lines on the left-hand side where all the divots are. Oh, that's why I don't have it up there correctly. So you can see, zooming in here, that's because I have, actually I started below the green line, so let me go over here. So you can see I kind of match them up. Wherever there's a little divot, I put a line. And you'll be amazed how well they line up. And then I do the same thing with the blue lines on the left-hand side. So wherever there's a divot, kind of zoom in here, like right there. You can kind of try to get it right on that edge. And sometimes you have to adjust them a little bit. This red line is that bottom line, that 370. You can see it's a flat spot right there. So anyway, that's how I draw them. All right, let's go back to our 5 minutes, see what's happening. All right, here we go. Got some demand zones that I drew up here. So it kind of gives you the visual as well. But for now, we're going to leave that in because that's... All right, back to this yellow line. Right now, I am going to take a roll of the dice here and see if we can bounce off this level. We're testing this 8 EMA, so I'm looking for this 8 EMA to hold. So 370.80 is what I'm looking for. Oh, damn it, I just missed it. I was talking too much. Already back up to 370.83. Oh wow, I missed it. Shoot. It may probably will trade back down here to this level, but I do trade in a I do have my active trader on. Let's see here, I'll trade 3 contracts and get ready to spy it at the market. We'll see what happens. Now, if we trade below this 80 EMA with volume and we open a candle below it, that's also a good place to stop, to place a stop loss for someone that was asking earlier. Coming back down to 37.80. Yep, good. Sorry about that notifications. I don't know. I have some stuff on. I gotta figure that out the next time and turn all that stuff off. All right, guys. I think I'm gonna go ahead and take this trade and not wait for it anymore. Come on, get down. Just looking for that perfect entry, but sometimes you can't get it. So I'll limp in. I'll just limp in with 2 contracts. All right, 37.82 was my or 37.82 was my fill. And I can either go here to this VWAP level, which is about 37.17. That's about 5 or 6 points. So I'm going to go ahead and, you know, normally if you have 3 ES contracts, you do a lot short, but I'm going to go ahead and aim for 37.86. To sell it, go ahead and put my sell in now, which will be only 4 points. But I just want to kind of give you guys an idea how the lines work and how you can use. And sometimes, normally, trading only this, you know, only 3 MES contracts, I would kind of shoot for here. But right now, there's no pattern to the market yet. It's a little early to trade. You know, 10 o'clock, 10:15 is normally when there's more action. So I'm gonna see if I can get a quick little hitter up here, and then I would look to stop it or maybe add to it if it gets down to this level here, this 375.88, which is about 5 from here, so that's about 37.75. So I'll put a white mark on it. Oh, and it may go there right now. Yeah, that is right there at the stop, but I'm just going to keep holding it for right now. I only have 3 MES contracts, but if I had 2 ES contracts, I would have stopped out. Right now, I'm just looking to add. My bias is still like down here to this line, this 373.55. I would just continue to add on the way down. I still think we're going to get a jump at some point. Alright, I'm just looking through my other stuff while we're waiting on that. Alright. So kind of bounce right off that level. Right back to that blue line. I'd like to get it above here. I do want to get my trade exchange back up. I do want to keep an eye out on that. I didn't look at what one option is doing. One option right now, it's still bullish. Let's zone in on that just slightly. Right there. So just going to keep an eye on that. Once this turns negative, that's normally not good. Sometimes you get divergence, so it just depends. But right now, it's I'm trading so little that you know, really I'm good looking at this chart. Even though it looks like a V formation, looking at yesterday's action, you know, you're really good to this 373.55 level. So then you kind of look at your risk level. Okay, I'm in at 376.38. That's about 30. That's about 30 points. You know, based on 3 contracts. Am I okay? Well, that's $400. Sure, you can always add down here pretty easily. You know, I have the buying power to add 25 more contracts if I wanted to. That's not what I'm trying to teach you, or how I normally trade, but I have that ability to if I need to. All right, now we're back up on this blue level. If I can get a candle above the yellow, I may add. Let me put this back up. All right, so what else can I, while we wait? I do have to tell you, I hate doing these live videos, actually. I'm like, I have no idea what to say. I'll figure it out. All right, come on, give me that green candle and get up there. Sometimes blowing helps, you know. You have to like blow it up. All right, come on. And you can buy, okay, one other thing that I do like to do is you can kind of sometimes draw these little trend lines. You know, they don't last very long, and then I like to create a parallel line like this. A lot of times they'll trade in between, so we'll just kind of leave that up for right now. You can kind of see it's right there on that. VWAP is right there. VWAP's not that important this early, but since I'm in the trade for right now. All right, I'll move that to you guys. Okay, see, one up did turn negative, and we are in a downtrend. So I do need to watch it. So all of a sudden we get some volume and we start trading. You know, I want to make sure that don't love that right now, but I'm not concerned. All right, I'm sorry about the beeps. I'm trying to figure out how to where that is coming from. Hold on one second. Where is that coming from? I know I have something on that's doing that. Oh, I gotcha. Probably right here. And right there. Nope. Shit. Oh, it may be my notifications on Twitter. Alright, then maybe it's what it is, so that's not too bad. Alright, we're back to that white line. The trend is down. Not getting confident of this trade, so, but I will need to see some, we do have a downturn, so but we keep bouncing off of it, which is actually kind of a, this was Friday's close. All right. Does anyone have any questions regarding clout lines, regarding trading in general, mindset, um, that kind of stuff? Ah, here we go. You get your uptick. Normally, I have my sweeps on, which also kind of gauges direction and where we're going. That's what I struggle with the most is, picking the right direction. If I could pick the right direction every time, I would be very, 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 very wealthy. But that's the hard part. So you read the news, you kind of develop a bias, and sometimes that bias can work against you. Yeah, that's tough. Trading is not easy. You have to constantly change your mindset. It's a lot like playing poker. Those people that are good at poker, normally you will also and probably add if it drops. I would probably take the small loss and look to re-enter. But you are profitable. No, I'm not. How do I change my mindset? One up cross. No, you're right. That is a good place to take a loss. But for me, it's about managing my risk because I'm only trading three MES contracts. For me, that's $15 a point. If I'm down 20 points, it's nothing to me. So that's just my risk level. You have to gauge yours. If you have a $500,000 account or you're trading a $500 account, then your risk level is going to be a lot different. So then, yeah, you would utilize whatever's at your disposal, whether that's a negative one up cross. Once you see it go negative, it's a good time to take a loss. More often than not, it's right. Sometimes there's divergence, and you're going to get stopped out of a trade only to see it go up, and you're like, shoot. But that's trading. You have to be able to take a loss, and at what level. And what happens there is it all depends on. Professor, do you see? And just sorry, my ADD goes crazy, so I start reading something, I get off subject. So you just have to stick to what works for you, what you have built conviction in. So I've learned over time that I'm willing to give trades some room right now. I mean, I have a bias right now. I believe that we're going to end up the day up. I think that we're getting into midterms tomorrow. And I think that we're going to trade right around this level. It's going to be tight. I think it's going to be a 20 to 30 point swing all day. And then once CPI hits, the bad news will probably hit and we'll probably start selling off like crazy. But, I'm just trading what's in front of me and what my bias is right now. Professor, do you see any merit in drawing trend line based on cloud levels outside of trading hours? Yes, I draw them outside of trading hours all the time. But what happens is I adjust them during pre-market hours a little bit. So sometimes um, they change ever so slightly. But yeah, you can trade them. I mean, in reality, is when you're drawing the cloud lines on the daily cloud level, they should not change very much. It just depends if you just want to make sure that you have your pre-market hours off because there's a lot of action in pre-market, but the volume isn't there typically in pre-market. So that's one of the reasons. Oh, no, well, at least we're positive for a minute. All right. If I can get another, well, we're still in the same candle, so I'm going to wait. I'm not going to add yet. If we can get up VWAP, well, we may actually get executed on our trade here and make our 4 points. Yeah, there you go. Well, we got filled. Made 4 points to do, but that's okay. $60. I can have lunch and dinner. And breakfast probably. So anyway, now we've broken above the VWAP, and now I want to see it trade above the 378.12 to see if we can make a run for the high. And it is after 10 o'clock right now. CB Employment Trends Index, actual 119 versus 120. That may be the news. I have no clue what that means. Anyone else? Go ahead if you guys know what that means right here. The whatever this right here is. By the way, it's great. Trade Exchange is such a great new service. I mean, it's inexpensive. It's $50 a month, or I think there may be special for $40, but really evens the playing field. When you really see a move and then you see the news come out, it adds to your conviction so well. You know, you got to learn how to use it. I mean, I just have it up all the time. I wouldn't trade without it, but and I know it's easy to spend money on a whole bunch of services, and but this one I definitely think is worth the money. This and the sweeps, and I posted it earlier on my Twitter account. I do have an affiliation with him, but you know, feel free to use any other new service that you can find. I just like this for a lot of different reasons, because I can make it smaller, I can make it bigger, I can put it wherever I want. Um, it just provides easy information. They do a good job with it. Oh, sorry. Okay, let's see here. For do you see any merit? Let's see here. Okay. So we're right back to that 37.88 number. So sometimes it's good to kind of draw stuff here. We're above this other trend line, so we can kind of draw one up here. Kind of see what this one does until it gets broken. So I get rid of these old ones. So it's all about trading between the lines, having conviction in your trades. Um, I'll ask a question. What's the difference between the yellow line and the blue lines? Um, I found that the yellow lines offer more of a support and resistance than the blue lines do. The blue lines definitely do the same thing, but not as concrete. I feel like that the yellow, like, you know, I have them drawn right now. We can kind of look back for a minute on the. We can go to a 15-minute chart maybe. But you can kind of see here is a yellow line. You can see here was major support. Back here, major support. Um, and then here on the blue lines, there are the ones that kind of hit in the middle. They do hit, but they're normally onesies or twosies, you know, like here, here, here. On the yellow lines, you can see a bunch of compression, if you will. So I guess what I should say is the yellow lines have more compression, and the blue lines are more one or two touches before they reverse. Hope that makes sense. That's what I've come to find out. Like here you can see you have the three touches right here on the blue line. You have one there, and then, you know, trade it back down. Go to 5-minute chart. You can kind of see the compression here all along this chart. Only one touch here, but a bunch of action here. On the blue lines, we have some compression down here. So that's, and when they're close, it doesn't matter. But, you know, when they're spread out like this, when they're close, it actually is a good sign because it offers more support. Like here's two lines together, more support. You can kind of see. Just look how well this one played out yesterday. Oh, the blue line, boom, it just hit constantly. And this one went a little bit above it. Boom, 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 boom. Sometimes it's just deadly accurate. I mean, I've been able to predict closest to the penny a bunch of different times. And you have to wait on price. You just have to wait and see how the market plays out. All right, guys, I'm probably going to stay on for, you know, like 15, 20 more minutes. We'll see if we get another trade. And I don't like doing this all day, and I need to go trade my other account. So in the meantime, if you guys have any other questions or let me know what I can do better next time and so forth, you know, fire away. The volume is about average. You can see this white line is The moving average for a 50 period. So, the market's in wait and see mode. The market is waiting for midterms, obviously. I live in the state of Georgia. I went to the University of Georgia. Not to give myself away, but I cannot believe that people are voting for Herschel Walker. I mean, the guy's an idiot. Great football player, but he's dumb as dirt. I don't understand it. I don't get it. But it is what it is. Would it be prudent to wait till either 38.20 or 37.50 on the S to go either direction? Yes, if that's how it depends on what your system is. Absolutely, I think that's a great idea. If you can wait that long, if you're that patient, it all depends on if I sit here all day and I'm looking at the market tick for tick, I start getting antsy. I want to trade. It's like a casino. You walk in and you're like, you walk in a casino and you walk up to a table and you look at a craps table all day long and you're looking at it and you're like, God, I really want to play, but it's cold as ice. Do you stay away or do you itch to go play? I mean, that's really the answer. It's a lot like that. I hate to use the gambling analogy, but it is. That's kind of what we're doing in essence, right? With an edge, or trying to have an edge while we do this. So we're trying to make calculated risk plays, which is in essence is gambling. And the best analogy on that is a casino. Because I really don't feel like trading this right now, so I'm looking for a reason not to trade. Yeah, I mean, I think you're absolutely right. This is not a good market environment to trade in. I think that's very smart. Yeah, FOMO. I mean, that's trading. The reason why only 3% or 5% of us are successful in this, it's our mindset. I know when to step away. I know when not to chase. By the way, I'm going to take this trade. Toot, toot, toot. All right, I took this trade 37.89.50. It is flagging here on the high end, but that's okay. And if it does trade back down to this level, it will add to that trade. I'm looking for a bounce to this 378.12 level, which is about 8 points from here. So I'm looking to sell it at around 37. I'll call it 96.50. I'll throw 37.96. Okay. I'm sorry. So wanted to take that. Um, for sure, when we see other people making great trades. Yeah, the way you have to figure out what works for you and tune out all the noise. I don't listen to anybody else. Tell people on my Twitter and wherever else, oh, it's going to do this, this, this. I said, great. Well, good for you. I tune it all out. It's all noise to me. I know what's worked for me only because I've been doing it for so freaking long. And am I always right? Hell no. I've learned a long time ago for you to be a successful trader, it's not about how great you can pick stocks or how great your entry points are. Mm-mm. It's how well you're able to take a loss. How well can you define your own risk? How well can you it's great when you're playing. Let me go back to a gambling analogy real quick. It's great when you're playing with house money because it's easy, right? You can say, "Oh, I'm up $500. I'm just going to play with that $500. When I lose, I'm done." Or I'll just try to go for broke. But the house always wins. People overtrade all the time. I'm very guilty of it, especially when I'm doing this kind of stuff. I probably shouldn't have taken that trade because it was more of a bull flag, but that's okay. Just need some action for you guys, so I'm willing to do it. Why I have no idea, but it's a mindset thing. It's like you want the action. It's fun almost, and trading should not be fun. Trading is a job. I mean, yeah, a job can be fun, but it actually should be so calculated. Your trade should be so calculated that you do the same thing every time that it's boring. Most people cannot handle that. They get the endorphins from the excitement. Oh, they entered a trade. Oh, it's going up. Oh shit, it just went down. Oh man, I'm screwed. it's the endorphins. They get off on it. And that's why most traders fail. And most traders do not have the capability or the ability to change that mindset to stick to my guns, stick to my entries. Here's my game plan. I'm sticking to it because over time, that's what I've learned. I do it all the time. I stray away from my conviction all the time. I just did it. I'm not waiting to enter at the yellow line or at the blue line. It's very, very difficult. And the way you handle that, I guess I should give you the answer on the way to handle it, is size. Reduce your size. Uh, trade, trade. If you want to be in it, fine. If you want to gamble or if you want to have the action, trade as small as you can trade. One share that Harry talks about, or one contract, $5 MES contract, and learn from that. Use that to learn. Use that to kind of gauge how do you feel. Pretend that you're trading 10 contracts. What would you do with it? That's how you learn. Train the mindset. Train. Oh my God. What does it feel like? How long have I been trading? A long time. I actually used to manage money for country music people a long time ago, back in the late 90s. Yeah, I'm old. Most of you probably are 25 to 30 years old, and I'm about twice that. Like Harry. Harry and I are old. And then I got out of the business. This is a true story. I had a guy walk into my office with a suitcase. I was actually in Fort Payne, Alabama, where I had opened up an office. And the guy walked in, no joke. Was in my office by myself. I had two partners. Opened up a suitcase, and he says, "I'm a farmer. I just won the lottery." And he opens up a suitcase, and it's $2 million. And he says, "My wife divorced me. What do I do with this money?" And I looked at it, and my jaw dropped, and I was like, "Oh my God." So, well, the first thing you need to do is open up a bank account. I mean, I was in shock. And this was 1999. Most of you may not even be alive. But anyway, back in 99 was the height of the internet boom. And he invested with us, really with my partner, who ended up putting him in MCI WorldCom and some other things, which actually went bankrupt. And I'd been in the business for a while. I guess I can't remember how old I was. I won't say my age. But anyway, it really had a profound effect on me because he ended up losing a good chunk of his account because of that. And he was devastated, and it actually devastated me, even though I wasn't the cause of it and I never would have put him in it. But I just said, you know what? I was making great money. I was making money hand over fist. And I said, I'm out. And I actually decided to get away from trading completely and went into the commercial real estate business. Here we're about to get filled. Boom. There we go. Wham, bam. Thank you, man. All right. That was another trade. That was a, let's see what we make on that one. Go look. It's only 3 contracts. But, so we bought at 370. 89.50, so we made I don't know, 7 points on that one. So there you go, 2 profitable trades. And no, look, we're at that blue line. All right, so I'll stay on a little bit now. We're getting some more action now, right? We're past 10 o'clock. We sold off. We tested that, yellow line right here. We kind of tested the halfway candle of Friday's close. Now we're above it. Now we're getting some action. Let me see if anything is happening in terms of news. Wow, what is going on there? Okay, how do I get rid of that? Wow, there we go. All right. Manheim, used car index. Manheim, used car index, biggest drop since Lehman. I actually have my dealer license with Manheim, so if any of you guys need a used car, actually I do it for fun. I buy BMWs for using Manheim, which has saved about $8,000 or $9,000 from the dealers. It's just a hobby. All right, Dow Jones, high day, Apple Pop. So right now, this blue line, which we drew from a cloud way back when, look how it's acting as resistance. We want to see it go above it, and then test this other line. This is the 50-day right here. You can kind of see the height of Friday is this blue line, this 378.88. Can you guys hear me? Hello, hello. Did I lose everybody? Can you just give me a... Okay, thank you. That was weird. Okay. All right, so we made two trades. One was a really good trade. It was a little bit on, we didn't have much of a drawdown on it. Made 7, 8 points. The other one, we had a little bit of a drawdown, 5 or 6 points, and we made 4 points. So we're up about 12 points total. If you're trading two ES contracts, you're up $1,200 for most people. That's a great day. 6,000 a week. You can do that every week. But don't look at it that way. Don't ever look at your profit and loss. Concentrate on your entries and your exits, and then see what you did at the end of the day. Try not to overtrade. I've seen so many people revenge trade and lose everything they have. It's I talk about mindset quite a bit. Oh, a bit quiet. All right. Is that better? Hold on. Is that better? Sorry. Better? Sorry, I had the microphone a ways away from me. I didn't realize that. Okay. Toot. So we can kind of get rid of this. We'll just keep on trading for a little bit longer and see what happens here. Better, thank you. Okay, you're welcome. So back in those Alabama days, that guy walked into my office, and I just decided at that point it wasn't for me. And my timing was perfect because when I walked out of the business in '99, from the management side of things, the whole market pretty much crashed from the internet. Everyone was invested in internet stocks, and so for me, it was good timing. And I loved the real estate game. I managed over 1 million square feet of properties. Done a little bit of everything. I still do it somewhat, but not as much as I used to. And now I just kind of trade for mostly fun and try to make some money here and there. Trying to become the world's best ES trader. That's my goal. If you're trading, you might as well try to become the best at whatever you do, right? Or really try to perfect the clout lines, which I kind of invented, which is kind of cool, actually. Just used differently. I didn't invent the cloud. The cloud's been around for a long time, but the actual lines, the way I draw them and how they come across, I've never seen anyone do it. You go on the internet, you won't find anyone doing it. And they work. If otherwise, you guys probably wouldn't be here. You guys have seen it. It works. All right, so here you go again. We got this big candle right here, which is normally if you're in the price action, which you got to pay attention to. That's a negative sign. We can see right here what this is doing here. Is this stuck? Oh, nope. See, it's turned way down right here. So we tested this 378.12 level again. So we're just stuck in a range, which is okay. I mean, you can scalp this, You can just scalp. For those that are patient enough, you can scalp it. I would only scalp it to the upside right now. I don't think I would short this because I think we could also have the ability to, if we can get above this high, I think we have the ability to test the 50-day. It's this 50-day that I want to see challenged. And I think that's what's keeping us up here instead of selling off. I don't expect the CPI to be great. And I think that will be bearish. And I think that we still have a ways to go down to the downside, especially if you look at, let me pull this up real quick. Like if you zoom out, this is a daily chart, actually let me pull the weekly chart on. It's very easy to look back here and you can have a drop to this 339, 340 level. That's a 30 point move, and we can even drop down to here, 300. And now I've been talking about this drop to this level quite a bit, right here. I call this the doomsday. I said this back in March, right here, this 278 level, because right here, do you see this where the break kind of splits? This was back, back in COVID. I mean, guys, this is only 2020. It's not that long ago. That's a 100 point drop right here. That's a 30% drop from the market. People think, oh, it'll never happen, can't happen, blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, it can. It can easily happen. In fact, it may. I still think it may happen. I mean, yeah, there has to be catalyst. Whatever that catalyst, I don't know yet. We don't know yet. It's not interest rates because we're in the process of that. But what's the next catalyst? Maybe it would have been, it's not the war because the war, unless they start using nuclear war or, it escalates to some kind, but it's something out there that hasn't happened. Maybe a credit crunch, maybe a housing market crash. I don't know how many of you guys got mortgages, but, we're trying to buy a new house, but that market's completely changed. All right. This is do you think the elections would cushion CPI? No, I mean, if, I said it was from the state of Georgia. I'm very middle of the road, but this whole Herschel Walker thing, and I'm a big dog, I'm a big UGA guy. I think he's dumb as dirt. Warnock, I don't know if he's any better, but, they're he may be a deciding factor in how our politics change, which just to me is just bizarre. I mean, how we can have someone as dumb as dirt that doesn't he's a pawn. It's a rigged game. I don't pay attention to it. These guys that are running for president are old as dirt. Some of you younger guys need to get into politics. Let's get a president that's in their 40s, and that's what the hell they're doing. That can speak clearly, whether it's I don't. Not a Biden fan. I'm not a Trump fan. It's just, I think it's ridiculous. But anyway, I don't want to get into the politics part of it. But I think that influence, if Democrats keep it, I think the market goes down. If Republicans, if Herschel wins, Herschel Walker is who I pay attention to. If he wins, the market actually may go up. It's just because of the more conservative state and they're more, market-driven politicians, if you will. So that's my take on it. So, if you're in the markets, you probably want to see a Republican House. But, I also have a daughter. I also have other feelings regarding that. So, yeah. Okay. There are cracks in real estate already. So I think the crunch will come soon from it. Oh, yeah. Well, it's a lot of loans rolling over. I had a building that was $17 million with a 4.5% interest on it. Not my building, building I managed for a client out of New York. And he bought the building about 3 years ago, got a 3-year loan. It's starting to roll over, and he has to re-up it at 7.5 basis points, which is a 3% basis point increase. On $12 million, you do the math. You lose about $360,000 a year. You're not able to pay your investors, and now you're going to have to probably sell a building because your investors are screaming bloody murder. Take a $3 million loss. Welcome to real estate. Welcome to finance. All right, guys, let's see here. Let me go back here. We're back to the yellow line. Let's see what happens here. May look to take a trade here. All right, I'm going to take this trade. I'm early on this, guys. Way early. 370.82 and a half. I'm going to try to sell it again to scalp it. Just looking for my 4 points. 3686.50. 3786.50. Let's see if I get it. So now this is let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 times we challenged this yellow line. The more we challenge it, more so to this side than that side, the more likely we're going to break through to the downside. So I do need to be careful of that. You can see that kind of here. challenged. 1, 2, up here, challenged. 3, 4, and the 5th time we broke through over here. All right, I'm in this trade. I don't love this trade. I like the 2 red candles in a row, but you know, it can turn on a dime. 1 up is buried right now, so 1 up, this negative hasn't really done anything, so if this starts turning up and cross, that would be bullish. We may get to see some action on that, so we'll kind of wait to see if that happens. I'll stay on till then, maybe. All right, come on. All I need is 2 lousy points. Where's my $2? I don't care about up there, so I'm going to keep that up like that. That there and that there so you guys can see. Oh, shoot. Oh, Braves. Acquire Sam Hillard. Go Braves. There we go. Oh, no. All right, I'm going to pull that back on. All right, the US dollar is at the highs. Yes, the dollar's been super strong. All right, Better Off Dead. Great movie. Hey! All right, there's a guy that I know who's not 25 years old. Unless he loves movies. Better Off Dead was a great movie. All right, again, I'll go to a 1 minute chart. You can kind of see it right here. We perfectly off this yellow line. I mean, to the penny. That's kind of where I tried to take the trade. I wasn't perfect taking it. It may still go down, but again, that's how you use the lines. You know, you got to pick your spots. And again, I like the bounces off the yellow lines a little bit better than the blue lines, but and the volume, you know, the volume's starting to die down. So we're getting into that lull. It's going to be I don't expect much movement today, so I'm not worried about a major sell-off unless some kind of news breaks out. So I have no problem kind of holding this and averaging down if I need to, if I can't get my 4 or 5 points. Now, if I was trading 3 ES contracts, that's a totally different mindset and totally different ball game. I have to really manage the risk. So it's a lot when you're trading. You know, yeah, we all want to make money and so forth and get rich quick and all that. Get that out of your head. You think about the risk management. Whatever your account is, trade what you're comfortable with. Trade what you're willing to lose. It's gotta have almost a gambler's mentality to it. You know, what are you willing to lose? It makes trading a heck of a lot easier. You're able to give yourself more room and you actually learn more. You're actually able to say, okay, here's where I'm going to stop it. I'm willing to live with that. Instead of just hoping or chasing. And then if you're down, you start chasing stocks, chasing prices, and you end up losing. So many people blow up their accounts over and over and over again because they like the high. They like the endorphins. It's an addiction. It really is. Thanks, Mike. Thanks for coming out. All right, guys. I'm going to probably do the same thing. I'm going to see how this trade plays out here. I'm going to give this trade about I'm going to give it about 7, 8 more minutes. And then I'm going to go trade my other account, which I'm not going to do live because I have to really concentrate on that. So in the meantime, since we're waiting, I'm going to give this about 8 minutes. Happy to answer any other questions that you may have, whether it's about trading, whether you want me to look at a particular stock, whether you want me to sing for you, whatever. Let me know. I do requests. Not on the singing part, I was kidding. All Ironically, those that trade to often take big wins on. There are so many times I take profit early and times where I go, fuck it, I'm going to Walmart and come back $500 richer. Yeah, but be careful. A lot of people have that mentality, and you're right. That does seem to happen, but over a long run, you do that, you're probably going to end up losing. You may be getting lucky, or you may be having good entry points, and you know, re- you know, review the trade. Why did it go up? Why? How? Where was that exit? Or where would I have taken profit? But that happens quite outside of music. Sorry, I don't know any of Sound of Music. In fact, my ex-wife tried to make me watch it for 5 minutes, and that's why we're divorced. So, just kidding. My new wife likes hard rock 80s. Actually, I have two kids that are studying music, and one will probably be a rock star. Would you get back into real estate if we had a major correction in the near future? I'm still in real estate somewhat. Yeah, I mean, do I want to? I don't know. Depends. Depends. Maybe build some houses. That's more fun to me than buying an office building. Office buildings on the serious note. Watching helps cement the method in action. Much appreciated. You're welcome. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't go back into the management side of things, or raising the capital and becoming a general partner, and dealing with the investors and dealing with the management side of an office building or a retail center, having to deal with tenants, collect the rents, do the accounting, and so forth. I think I'd rather keep it more simple, where I don't have to answer to a lot of people, kind of like that. Is it really worth switching to TC2000? Depending on what you're on. I have no idea. What are you on now? Lando Bando? I don't know. For me, it is. For me, it's easy because I like drawing my lines. It's the easiest software I found to draw the lines on. But then again, I've never used TraderView, so I can't speak to it all. But it's much better than Thinkorswim, and I like it better than NinjaTrader. All right, guys, we are about to make our profit. Oh God, I thought we were gonna make it. Damn it, it sold off. Thought we were right on the edge. Come on up. You are the next contestant. Okay, hey Prof, do you utilize algo lines? If so, could you clarify and show us an example one? I watch Harry's videos on them. He seems to use exceptions he doesn't talk about. Yeah, I don't have this set up for algo lines right now. Let me see if I can set one up. So basically what algo lines are is if I go into I gotta find that. So what you're looking for is, let me just pull up Apple, for example. So what you're looking for is high. This is a daily chart, and what you're looking for is you're looking for high volume candles. Here's one, above. Here's one right here, and then all you're doing is looking to connect the dots with the current. So an algo line would be, probably from right here where this volume is to, the latest and greatest, which is probably right there. So there's your algo line. If it breaks below it, you can trade it. Or algo line may have been, there's some volume right there. Could have been here, and if it trades above it, that could be a buy. But I use algo lines in addition to using my lines. And I mean, you can even go like this. Like here's Apple. A lot of people do you use your clout lines on stocks? Well, let's test it. All right, here we have Apple trading. We are trading right here at this level. So my first line is really right here. Okay, right here on this point. Ah, shit. Come on, get it. Sometimes finicky. I have to zoom in. Okay. Oh, hey, we just got filled on our trade, by the way. So make some money there while we're doing this. And then I go here to the left, and then this This is as far left as I go, and I use these lines right here to use the rest of them. Hold on, let me get rid of this line because I don't know what these are. So a point right here is one. And I'm just going to use both blue and, my blue and yellow lines. I'm going to mark them all there, there. Okay, and there. Okay. Normally I may want to zoom in a little bit more, and then looks like there's another one right there. Oh, that didn't take, but that's okay. I'll just go right there. And then another one right there. See right there on that level. So here I just drew a bunch of cloud lines, all right, on the day one. Now I go back to the 5 minute. Let's see how they line up. 5 minute, and look at this. So here we are. All right, you can see the action here today. It bounced perfectly off this 137.58 level. Right now the line in the sand is 136.71. It's bouncing between 136.40 and it bounced right here. This 136.08, and you can just draw all your white lines. I didn't draw more. I could probably draw some more here. So, looking at this, if it breaks above this line, you may have a little play up here to 137.58. You could draw some lines as well to help you gauge. And you can do some supply zones and demand zones, like there's one definitely here, for example, this area. Well, you have a demand zone kind of working right there, and then you have a supply kind of right on this line. So if it trades above that, that may be the short. If it trades down in there, that may be the long, or it breaks below that, I would sell it. I don't like Apple. I'd stay away from it. All right, let me go back to this real quick. Let me look at my last trade, and now we sold off. We're already out of the trade, so we had good timing on that. And there may be another trade here. Let me turn my lines back on. See how different a chart looks without the lines? I'd be lost. Like, where do I enter? Like, what do I do? Wow, I'd be like trying to line it up here or drawing lines everywhere, but I just simply draw the lines, and there my yellow, and there my blue, and now we're right back here. And heck, I'm just going to go ahead and buy 3 more just because we're on a roll, and see if it bounces off again. So we got filled in this one, 381.50. I'm going to look for back up here to this level right here. Oh, look at that. I can just take it right now. 377. So that's another 4 from here. So I'll do 370.86 again. But now I have to be careful because this is like this a test. So this is definitely the line in the sand. You can see the compression, you can just, it's visual right there. You can see the compression. So if all of a sudden you see a downtick, like a big red candle right here, and it just starts selling with volume, well, then you can actually, that's definitely a time to get out, and maybe even flip it to a short because something is going on. That's why you have the news service as well. Okay, and I appreciate showing me things. Have you traded Bitcoin? Hell no. Nope. Not for me. Don't understand it. Don't trade it. Not for me. Prof, I'm curious why you're charting SPY when trading futures. Why not just chart MES? Do you correlate 1-to-1? All right. Someone want to answer him? Just answered that early. Because I chart in TC2000. TC2000 does not do futures. I like it because for me, Cloud Lines, it's the easiest software to use. Oh, by the way, we just made another 6 points. Thank you very much. I'm just scalping from my yellow line. Back to VWAP. So that's why they don't correlate 1-to-1. They correlate about 10 points for every SPY move. Or 1 point in SPY is about 10 points in ES. Yes, I wish TC2000. I wish I could chart in ES, but I have not found a software as easy to use as TC2000. It works for me, but unfortunately, I have to do it in SPY and then convert it, and I've gotten so used to it. But yes, that's why. Yeah, thank you. Someone answering for me. I like that. Quick question. You said your line is at that point. Is it just because it's slightly below the filled in part of the last candle on the daily? Quick question. You said your line is at that point. Is it just because it's slightly below the filled in part of the last? Go look, Tyler, go look at my video, my YouTube video on how I draw cloud lines. That will answer your question. How many points is that today? How many points is that today? I don't know, actually. I don't pay attention to that. I'll just look at my profit at the end of the day. But I think we are at, I'll have to go look. I have to add them. So we made 5 points in that last one. The one before that was a 4-pointer, so that's 9. Then that one was a 7-pointer, 16. And that one was 4. That's 20 points. 20 points. Right at 20 points. 20 points. And now normally if you're trading an one ES contract, 20 points, call it a day. You don't want to overtrade because at one point or another, this will break down. It's been hovering this 376.38 line, which has been great support, and it's hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. At some point or another, it needs to get above this one, because the longer it hovers here, it will break down at some point. And then the question is, what becomes the next support? Right now it's this blue line. And this white line we drew earlier based on halfway of this white flag when we were in the earlier trade, for those that are new. I think you can chart ES in 2000. You just need to pay for additional data feed. It costs $9 for real-time US index data. Well, see, Marcel, I had no idea. I will look into that, because I did not know that. A US index data, but it's futures. It's not an index, so I'm not sure if that's correct. I don't think you can do futures in TC2000. I don't think so. I mean, I can get SPY, I can get ETS. That's index, but I don't know. Thanks a lot. Really insightful. How do you incorporate sweeper activity into your trading? I assume there's a few SPY options going through every second. No, not every second. Not at all. But yeah, you you ignore the smaller and you trade the higher. I will do a separate video on that. Right now, I don't have it up. Otherwise, I would show you. And if I pull it up, for some reason or other, I lose my YouTube feed. So, that's why. Okay, for instance, on SPY, why is your 370 on the filled in part of the candles and you're near the top of the 20? I don't know. That's why is your 376.38 on the filled in part of the candle, and 378.12 is on the, because I draw them based on the daily. I go back. Remember, I draw these lines not based on this information. I draw my lines in the past. So here, my lines are drawn way back here from 2000 and. So look, watch this. Okay, all right, pay attention. I'm going to do this one time. Let me get a clean chart. Hold on. All right, so here's a daily chart. Okay. Here's your 5-minute chart right here, okay? This is a day. I go into my daily. We're trading right here. I go all the way to the left of my cloud, wherever the price action is, okay? We're not above the cloud. Below the cloud, we are a bear. We're not to the right of the cloud. We're to the left of the cloud. If we were trading up here, we use it over here, but we're trading to the left. So I'm going to make a line right here just so I can get my bearings, okay? I'll move all the way over here. See, all the way over here, and I hit the cloud here. So I'm using it to draw here. So I zoom in. This is from 2020, price action from 2021 is what I'm using to gauge my lines for today. This is how this works. And here are my lines. So I draw my line at right there. Here's 378, for example. And right there, you're looking about 376. So we'll stick with that. 376. 376.70. So we zoom in. Okay, now using these little markers, everywhere you see a little dip, like right here, and I drew these yesterday, so they may have changed ever so slightly. 378.78. Okay, and then I draw the next one right on that, right on this line right there. Okay, there's actually one higher. There's one right there. And then there's one below it, right there. And it's an R. You have to kind of get close. And, you know, there's give or take. God, I've been doing this so long I can't move my hands anymore. And this is why on it's easier to do on here, right around there. It's a little higher. To zoom in more. Oops, here, hold on. Let's just zoom in more. I can get it exactly. All right, there we go. See, there's my 376.44. So now let's go to my 5 minute. Okay, now we go back to history and well, this one is off just ever so slightly because it changed because I probably don't have my pre-market on. But that's how you draw them. So I draw them. Here's that yellow line you were talking about. See how we just do that? 376.44. You draw them based on the past. Okay, does that make sense? And my other video explains that. So now we go back here. And it's not an exact science. You're not going to get it perfectly on the dot every single time. So now I have that other line. See how my original line was 378.38 and my original was, now my new one's 376.44. So it's just a question because my hand moves and that kind of thing. Hope that makes sense. I notice you don't trade entire ranges. You just take your pops and go. Why is that? Because I'm teaching new guys right now. So I'm just trading, I'm just scalping because we're in a range, we're range bound. So I'm taking out my risk. I know that the range bound, you can see it right here. It's from this yellow line up to VWAP. So right now I've had hardly anything from yellow to blue. I mean, I may get one eventually, but why wait? Why would I take that risk? Because the history right now is just between this yellow line, which is 378.40, we'll call it, and this 37, which is about 6 points. So that's why I'm just scalping the 6 points, scalping the 6 points. But eventually it's going to break down, then it's going to go down 30 points, and you're going to, you're going to stop all your trades. So I'm going to give this 10 minutes till 11, and then I'm stopping, guys. So. All right, anyone have any other questions? See, there would have been another trade, right? And as you're doing this and you're looking for stocks, let's talk about that for a second. And you're looking for relative strength and relative weakness stocks. We talk about that quite a bit on, I don't know how many of you guys are from real day trading and so forth, or how you guys found me, but on the real day trading at Reddit that Harry started, and I came along very early in the process. It was, maybe day 1 or day 2. I don't involve myself as much anymore because those guys have just taken off by themselves and they're doing a great job, so they don't need me. And so let's assume that you're trading a stock that you really like that's relatively strong. And, we can do a search right now. We can go into one option, for example. We can see what's hot. He's got free built-in scanners. We can go into Pop Bull, and right now you can see that Veru is looks like it's super hot. So let's pull it up. There goes SPY. You can see, it had a huge breakout here. 5 minutes at it started the day off super strong, and since then it's basically channeled. Right, this is the channel right about there. So it's in this channel. Is this relative strong or is this relative weak? Well, you have this other little thing that we use in one option called the one-up indicator. I'll pull it up real quick. 1 OSI, which is right here. Okay. Oh, that's because I don't have Veru up. Veru. Okay, there's Veru, and you can see it's actually right now its relative strength is above 0 compared to SPY, but it's stuck in a range. So, but let's say it was trending. Okay, a great website. I'll give you guys a great website. If you're looking for stuff, one of my favorite websites for scanners is quit fucking around with all those scanners you pay for and all this. It's free. Can be stock beep, okay? Right here, breakout ranges. I mean, this is the best thing that's out there. You can find trending stocks, okay? These are all the trending stocks. You sort them by time, what's happening. You know, you can make a whole bunch of different. Oh, wait, sorry. Don't even have it up on the right screen. So it's called stockbeep.com. You can look at stocks that are setting new highs right here. This is a free scanner. I mean, this thing is beautiful. Look at LVS, okay, right here, LVS. Breakout range. You can see what matches up. Moving up now, most active now, recovering. Free website. Great thing. You can find these right here. It's better than any other scanner that I've seen. Then you can kind of compare it, okay? So what did we say? LVS was new highs. So it's obviously going to be, it's obviously breaking out. You can look at a weekly chart. You can look at a daily chart. Okay, it's breaking out right here. It's probably got some resistance here. You can go and draw some cloud lines on it. You know, kind of see where the resistance is. Probably right there. So right in here and right up there. So there may be room up here for LVS to 41.67. And you know, I mean, right. It's right now probably needs to get through this level. This 41.09. But anyway, that's a free scanner for you there. Also, price of admission right there. Okay, how do I lost my, oh, here we go. You make scalping so really easy, but whenever I enter position, SPL side to travel 25, well, that's because you're probably entering, when are you entering it? Do you have the conviction for the trade? Let me ask you right now, to you, if I'm saying that correctly. If this were to drop down to the yellow line, would you take the trade? Yes or no? And play it for 6 points. I'll enter it for you because I don't want to put you on the spot. The answer is yes. You got to play the percentages. It's been working. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You could add 10 trades. It's been working. As long as this holds. Yeah, the one time that you may enter, finally, it may go. And you're right. It could sell off 20 points as soon as you enter. But, you know, you got to enter it. You got to hang your hat on something. How do you originally figure out how to use cloud lines in this way? Luck. I was just screwing around with the cloud. I've always been a big cloud person just to kind of gauge direction. And I was screwing around with the lines and I noticed all these little dips and I just started lining them and I started noticing how accurate it was. And then I started also noticing that when you're using the cloud to the right side, like this is a 5-minute cloud chart right here. Let me take these out for a second. Let me give a better example. Let me see here. Like here's a 30-minute cloud. Let me get rid of these lines because that's our old 2-1 lines. And at first I was messing around with lines to the right here, you know, and I noticed it wasn't as accurate. And sometimes you can say, okay, we could finish up here to these flat levels, 379.55 or 378.80. But I started noticing all these, so I started lining all of them. And I was like, man, that's a lot of lines. But they were jumping back and forth. And then I decided to do the different colors. And you just notice, you know, stuff. And it's been working. I mean, I've been messing around with it for 8 months now. And, you know, it works. I mean, it definitely works. I've yet to see where it doesn't work. I mean, it's support and resistance. There's support and resistance, how the cloud works. Remember what the cloud is made up of. It's a whole bunch of different moving averages. And it projects it. It takes all those moving short-term moving averages and long-term moving averages, and it projects that in the future. So everyone trades off of a D1 chart, old institutions mostly, right? The algo traders and so forth. So you take their price action based on that D1 cloud and put it on a 5-minute chart, and there you go. And it's amazing how accurate it is, even if you go back and you're charting back from 2001 and you're getting today's prices. And I mean, it's unbelievable how it repeats. All right, guys, it is close to 11. I got about 3 minutes left. Let's see if there's any other action going on. Let's see if we can get above this blue line. It's a nice little W forming. So if we can get above this level right there, this 377, 370.80, we may get a little breakout, but most likely we'll just straight right back down there. So just for shit and giggles, we'll just put a little thing right there and see if we get above it. And see if I'm right or not in the next 3 minutes or so, or 2 minutes. What are your thoughts of STD, the statistical probability, standard deviation, statistical probability lines? That's a mouthful. Standard deviation, that website that I just showed you, Stock Beeps, they use standard deviations. I think there's something to be said for standard deviations, but I don't necessarily utilize it because the market is always changing. A news event can throw standard deviations lines out of the window in a hurry. So, and stocks move a lot more on news than, stocks are news driven. So that's why I don't love standard deviations for, or statistical lines for standard deviations. But it's not something I use. I think my clat lines work better than that. So why would I change it? That's really my answer. Where can I go learn more about your videos on YouTube? Where can I go learn more about your videos on YouTube? On YouTube? Click on, I don't know how you found this stream, but you click on my YouTube page at Professor 1970. You can look me up, Professor 1970, I think. The best thing to do is, I post it on my Twitter account all the time, is look up the video on how I draw the lines. All right, anybody else? All right, guys. Well, I thank you so much for coming on here. It's nice to see that over the last 20 minutes, most viewers have remained on, so that's exciting. It must be doing something a little right. Thank you so much for sharing this with us and your presence on Twitter. You are truly good to the channel. Well, thank you, Philip. It's very, very nice. I'm trying to see if we get above this 377.76. Come on. But I made 20 points, so that's fun. Only on 3 MES contracts, so that's not. It's $300, so but $300 in an hour and a half worth of work, and get lobster. Ooh, lobster. Oh, and I will do more. I'll try. I don't love doing these. I feel like I'm rambling, but yes, I will try. I will post this one live so you can see, you can do it. Please comment on it and what you thought about it, because I feel like I'm rambling, and other people in the first 20 minutes, they may watch this and say, God, this is the most boring freaking thing I've ever seen. But I will say that most of the action was after 10. So, all right, guys, you guys have a great day. Kick some butt. Oh, nope, we didn't get it. We actually sold right off of that 377.26 line. So we're going to head back to that yellow line. But, when we head back to this yellow line, that 3781, 82, maybe worth a scalp. Just have to wait and see. All right, guys. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Take care.